Hello everyone, welcome to Analog IAS Current Affair Analysis for 26th March 2021. These are the articles that we'll be dealing today.
This article is titled Quad Strategic Opportunity or Quagmire. Before getting into the details of this article, we have to understand that Quad is a basically anti-China grouping. This is the informal trend that is exhibited by this grouping. Even though the official documents say that quadrilateral grouping, which is led by US along with Japan, Australia, and recently it was joined by India. So, the basic agenda of these countries is to contain China. Even though the official documents say that quadrilateral grouping is a grouping which is meant to ensure cooperation between these countries and maintain the net security provider status in the Indian Ocean region or Indo-Pacific region. Why did India choose to join this grouping is the question that we have to understand. In 2013, China came up with the Belt and Road Initiative, or the One Belt One Road Initiative as it was called back then. China started to aggressively expand its footprint in the South Asian region, and also as a part of this strategy, it has increased its presence in the Indian Ocean region through various strategies like string of pearls. So this has actually affected the position that was traditionally held by India as the net security provider in the Indian Ocean region, causing a threat to the Indian sovereignty in the region. Apart from this, China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative rang alarm bells in India as the projects were viewed as encroachments into India's strategic space. For example, you can consider the China Pakistan Economic Corridor, which was running through the Karakoram Range, which was supposed to be a disputed territory, but this territory was ceded by Pakistan to China despite the fact that it was a contested region. Apart from this, the other reason is US focus on the West Pacific region because China was increasing its maritime activity gradually, and US realized that India's presence in the Indo-Pacific region is going to be an imperative if US were to maintain or contain China. So the entire domain of Indo-Pacific became the new theater of geopolitical space wherein major activities were happening. In order to bring in more weightage to this area and to bring in more strategic partners, US has aligned with Japan as well as Australia, which had similar reservations about Chinese aggression. So, what are the issues with Quad as the structural design is highlighted in this article? The first one is the fact that it is completely US centered. There is absolutely no focus on other countries. The second one is Quad looks at China as a hostile grouping but hardly serves the security interest of its members. For example, you can take the case of the recent Galwan uh, altercation that we've had with the Chinese counterparts. At the same time, if you take the LSE issue, where there was a lot of activity happening, yet there was no support from any of these Quad partners. So the net security aspect is completely ignored or sidelined. Quad has time and again said that it is all for a rules based world order, and it wants a clear promotion of this rules based world order, but Quad hardly lays down what its strategic vision is like or what is its agenda like. There is no official document which clearly delineates the objectives of Quad, the aims, and the long term vision it shares. So that is the next problem. Lastly, it is obvious not only from its inability to deter China, there is also a member's anxiety to maintain close ties with China. The reason is China is very integral to trade, even if we like it or not. The global supply chains are closely linked to China. Even when they want to maintain that antagonistic stance with China, they still want to maintain close trade ties. It is more like Quad is a forum to ensure that Chinese aggression is kept in check, but it does not serve the real purpose with which it was created. This was all the more evident in the case of India's altercation with China in the LAC recently. Therefore, the key takeaway for Indian diplomacy is the fact that before we look at Indo Pacific, we have to settle our border issues, especially with the Chinese counterparts, because we share a vulnerable border which is 3,500 kilometers long. So, that is the gist of this article. In need of full time heads. In various previous articles, we have discussed that there is a syllabus topic, various securities agencies, and within that, we'll be talking about CAPF and CRPF. What are these organizations? Please refer to your class notes, which was already discussed. So, coming back, the main problem that this article is highlighting is, let us understand the broader principle. Efficiency comes in policy continuity and policy implementation. So, our internal security strategy and the policy documents are as effective as there is a continuity between governments. Say, for example, if a party comes to power for X amount of years, and after that, another party comes into power and stays in power for the next 5 years, it should be such that whatever policies that X has brought out, if they are successful enough, they should be continued by the next government as well. Secondly, a policy is as good as its implementation. Now, for implementing any policy, we need funds, we need functions, we need functionaries. So, basic problem with a lot of organizations in our country right now is with respect to functionaries. That is affecting the efficiency of the entire system. In this case, we're talking about the chiefs of various Central Reserve Police Forces, which have a strength of nearly 3.5 lakh personnel. The major problem is government has been delaying the appointment of these chiefs, which is leading to inefficiency. For example, take the case of CBI. Recently, an NGO has filed in the Supreme Court to come up with a reason as to why there is no appointment of a full-time director of CBI. Similarly, a lot of other CRPF organizations are running with temporary heads who do not have a full extensive power, leading to inefficiency. Therefore, this structural inefficiencies can be addressed only when appointments happen on a regular basis, on a rules based basis. What should be done for that is the point that our government should discuss with professionals and come up with a clear cut policy on this. That is the gist of this article.